Hey, welcome! Today we're jumping into a really special text from Pure Land Buddhism, the Amitābha Sūtra. It's a super short scripture, but believe me, it is packed with profound ideas. It paints this incredible picture of a perfect world and then gives us a direct path to get there. So, what's it all about? Let's find out.
But first, let me ask you something. What if there was a world that was just completely free of suffering? No pain, no stress, no anxiety, a place where all you ever experience is pure, uncomplicated happiness. It's something people have dreamed about forever, and it's the exact idea that the Amitābha Sūtra tackles head-on.
You know, what's so cool about this sutra is that it doesn't start with some dense, heavy philosophy. Nope, it kicks off like a travel brochure, inviting us on a guided tour of this incredible destination. This place is way out 10 trillion Buddha lands to the west, and it's called Sukhāvatī, which literally means the land of ultimate bliss.
The Buddha actually asks his disciple, "So, why do you think this land is called ultimate bliss?" And then he gives this beautifully simple answer. The whole identity of this world isn't just about the good stuff it has. It's about what's missing. There is absolutely no suffering, only joy. It's a reality built from the ground up on happiness.
So what does it actually look like? Well, the Buddha describes this place with perfect, glowing order. Everything comes in sevens, 7 rows of railings, nets, trees, and they're all shimmering with gorgeous jewels. Even the ground you walk on is made of pure gold. And this isn't about being rich, you know? It's all a metaphor for how pure and precious this enlightened world is.
And the tour just keeps going, pulling in all of your senses. You've got these ponds made of jewels, filled with this pure, perfect water. There are lotus flowers blooming that are as huge as chariot wheels in all these vibrant colors. And get this, there's heavenly music constantly playing and beautiful celestial flowers just gently rain down 24/7. It's a world where everything you see and hear is designed for peace. Okay, and if you thought that was amazing, it gets even better. The land is filled with all these beautiful, colorful birds. But they're not normal animals. The sutra makes it clear they are magical creations, manifested by the Buddha of that land, Amitābha. And they have one job: to constantly sing the Dharma, the teachings of enlightenment. Even the wind blowing through the trees makes a sound that reminds everyone of the path.
So this all leads to the big question, right? Who could possibly create such a perfect place? Well, the answer is the founder, the creator, the guiding light of this whole land of bliss.
The whole sutra is named right after him, Amitābha Buddha. But in these texts, a name is never just a name. It's a description. It tells you who that being really is. So what does Amitābha actually mean?
Well, that actually has 2 incredible meanings. First, Amitābha means immeasurable light. The sutra says his light, his radiance, just shines everywhere, through all worlds, with nothing blocking it. It represents wisdom. But he's also known as Amitayus, which means immeasurable life. This means his life and the lives of everyone who gets to his land is basically infinite. It just goes on and on for countless eons.
And to give you some idea of that timescale, the sutra says it's been 10 kalpas since Amitābha actually achieved Buddhahood. Now, a single kalpa is a length of time that's almost impossible to imagine. It's like the time it would take for a mountain to wear down if you brushed it with a piece of silk once every century. So yeah, this paradise has been around for a very, very long time.
All right, so we've seen the destination, we've met the founder. Now for the really important part. How do you actually get there? This is the absolute heart of the sutra. The practical, step-by-step instruction.
And the Buddha is super clear on this point. He says you can't be born there just by having a few good deeds under your belt. While doing good things is great, of course, getting to this specific place requires a very specific practice. It needs a direct, powerful, wholehearted connection to Amitābha Buddha himself.
And here it is. This is the practice. And it's laid out with just stunning simplicity. The sutra says that if you hear the name of Amitābha Buddha and you hold on to that name, meaning you chant it, you recite it, you keep it in your mind with total, unwavering focus for 1 day or 2 days up to 7 days, and your mind doesn't get all chaotic and messy, you've done it. You've set up the cause to be reborn there.
And this is the ultimate promise. The result of that focus is that when you're about to die, which is usually a really scary, confusing time, Amitābha and all these enlightened beings will literally appear right in front of you. Your mind won't be dendal, which is a great word that means all upside down, jumbled, and thrown into chaos. Instead, you'll be totally calm and clear, and you'll go straight to the Pure Land.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds, well, a little too simple, right? Maybe too good to be true. The sutra totally gets that.
And so what comes next is probably one of the biggest, most powerful endorsements you'll ever find in any scripture, anywhere. So how can we be absolutely 100% sure that this path works? Well, the Buddha doesn't just ask for you to take his word for it. He calls in an unbelievable lineup of witnesses to give this teaching a solid, cosmic guarantee.
I mean, the text lists out all these names, but what's really important here is the sheer scale of it all. Buddhas from every single direction of the universe, east, west, north, south, even below us and above us, they all come forward to testify. And we're not talking one or two. We're talking about as many Buddhas as there are grains of sand in the Ganges River, from each direction. It's this massive, unanimous, universe-wide validation.
And what do they all say? They perform this symbolic gesture to show they're speaking the absolute truth, and they all deliver the exact same message. They tell everyone, you should believe this sutra. They call it the sutra protected by all Buddhas. I mean, they are putting their entire collective reputation on the line to back up this simple path.
So why? Why was this teaching given in the first place? And why on earth did it need such a massive, cosmic seal of approval? Well, the last part of the sutra brings it all home and explains why Shakyamuni Buddha shared this message, specifically with us in our kind of world. The Buddha says he's teaching this during what's called an evil age of 5 corruptions. It's basically a term for a really difficult time to be alive. An age where everything's kind of degenerate, people's views are all confused, we're plagued by our own difficult emotions, our character can be flawed, and life is just short and fragile. In a world that's so challenging, a simple, powerful, and accessible path isn't just nice, it's an act of incredible compassion.
And this is so key. The Buddha himself admits it. He says this is an extremely difficult to believe Dharma for the entire world. He knew its very simplicity would be the hardest thing for people to accept. And that is exactly why he called on all the other Buddhas in the universe to back him up, to give us the confidence to trust in a path that seems almost too good, too simple for our complicated lives.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? The Amitābha Sūtra shows us this perfect world and gives us a surprisingly simple way to get there, just by hearing a name and holding it in our minds with focus. So in our own age, which is so full of distraction and complexity, what's the power in a path like that? What can we take away from a teaching that puts all its chips on simple, concentrated faith? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this one.